Hey people, Intrate here, 3v3 faction war. This is Katrin Purification Plant and Chaos Space Marines versus Orks. For the blue Chaos team, you have Gaius Baltar with a Chaos Lord. Durable and destructive hero, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee, the Thousand Suns elite scheme here. Alongside is an old broken down Python as a plague champion. Starts off in ranged combat. The damage of a time bolt gun can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support. And rounding off the blue Chaos team is Uncle Rostam with a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control, the Iron Warriors elite scheme here. Red Orks, up high, Do 3 is a Warboss, a melee hero, walks through objects with strong disruption, support and offense from the front lines. Alongside here is Noisy with a Kommando knob, infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style, begins in ranged combat with a twin link shooter, going all sneaky already. And rounding off the teams, YZ with a Mekboy, teleporting hero, fighting in ranged combat, puts out some good damage as a bunch of versatile Orky gadgets on the east side there against the Chaos Lord. Western players are Rostam's Sorcerer and the Warboss of Up High. Mid players then the Plague Champion and that sneaky Kommando. We got some Nurgle worship early on. Double shooters all round for the Orks. More heretics out for Rostam. Stomp from the Warboss. Looks like the heretics might finish him though. Poke from the Sorcerer, down he goes. Maybe they could push this little advantage now. Doom bolts flying in. It's a decent hit. Those shooter boys got messed up quite a lot. Sluggers there with burners on. Gives them a couple of power weapons and some more health. Sorcerer just consumed the heretic. Those heretics quite low, having to retreat off. More doom bolts. Looks like the Chaos team can push through here perhaps. There's a stun bomb to make a big difference. It's the Sorcerer and the CSM. Might be time for the CSM to creep up, start to melee stuff. They're meleeing the Kommando knob here, who's getting those Orky headbutts in. Sluggers looking for a flank. They are, well, I was going to say they're full health, but now they're taking a bunch of bolter fire, including the stinky damage of a time bolter fire of the Plague Champion. Recently nerfed, of course. Shooter boys having to back off, having to retreat in fact. Can they get onto the power here? Plague Champion is going to stay behind and cap since he's quite slow. We got heretics with an aspiring champion for Rostam. Python also with an aspiring champion as that Nurgle worship for health regen for all of Python's units in range. East side, what happened? Mekboy's capping the contested power point. Chaos Lord comes to have a word. Just hits the air out of frustration when he teleports away there. We got some CSM coming through. Did he not get anything else on the field? Oh, you got an aspiring champion as well. That's where your resources went. Sword of Flame up for the Sorcerer. Unsurprisingly sets things on fire, including yourself if you want, with that coruscating flame. Gives you like a damage over time aura to surrounding enemies, and also cast it on allied units. Doom bolts flying in. Good way to open a fight, isn't it? Just a bunch of blue, purpley, Zinchian bolts of warp stuff. Assassin's Knife for the Kommando knob. Scares off the heretics. Storm boys jumping in here for Up High. Power melee jump troops that can really put some pain onto Marines. Sluggers in retreat path might finish off the Plague Champion. Storm boys with their classic clumsy chasing, but something got the kill. Looks like it was a slugger there got the kill, with a fancy sync as well, sync animation. Big shooters up for Noisy shooter boys, and also these fellas. What about Up High? Big shooters are coming in. Havoc suddenly for Rostam, but they're going to get jumped. And as I said, these fellas have power weapons. Havocs only have the lesser form of melee resistance, so they get 20% damage reduction rather than 40. Same thing for Devastators and the like. Although I'm not sure how it goes for Looters. The Looters have the lesser form of it, I would assume so, if they have any at all, that is. Is that the Combi Flamer? Of course it is, the Combi Flamer. 31 piercing DPS on a very angry Chaos Terminator fella that you can't suppress. We got Raptors in play here for Gaius Baltar, jump troops that suppress when they land. 30 DPS, 358 points per model too. Noise Marines now for Gaius Baltar. Help them get on this power and bash the hell out of it quickly. The Kommando runs away, level 2. I'm sure he assassinated something. CSM dropping a model there. There's a Rostam's, and they do have the Eternal War upgrade. Lost the indicator for the Warboss. Spiky armor's on though, and here comes that boss pole. Going to be buffing a lot of Orks with that come late game, I would think. Plague Champion with the Plague Sword, fully kitted out in fact, with fetid armor and Blight Grenades. They do work together quite well, because if you can hit that on Holy Stench, they basically can't dodge the Blight Grenades. They have to take it or retreat if they're suppressed. I guess the Storm Boys could jump out if they're suppressed, but the Sluggers are going to be screwed by that. You can also do it with Heretics, run in and Doom Blast and try to run away before the grenade hits. Can make that work. Have you got your Vestments of the Warp yet? Nope. Pain Boy on the way for Noisy. Lots of Daka, including some suppression from Aiming. What's that? Got the Shooter Boy Knobs there too. They're just backing off to protect the power here. Creeping up with Havocs. Got some CSM, we got some Heretics, and we have a Chaos Sorcerer. Where is the Plague Champion gone to? Capping the VP. It's 2-1 for blue now. Pushing through though on the east side is YZ's Orks. Some cacophony from the Noise Marines. Heretics are in play. Storm Boys jumping out. Looks like they did some good work and took a lot of damage doing it. Need to run away though. Down to 2 models being shot up by the CSM. There's a retreat. You have the Daka big shooter for the Mekboy. And electric armor, which helped take down the Chaos Lord there. Should get revived. But it might take the Plague Champion a while to get over there. Being the mid player. Good special attack there. The Plague Sword is a power melee weapon that ignores melee resistance and creates zombies on kill. Got a zombie slugger there. Storm Boys scaring off the double CSM. Rather, the Havocs in this CSM, I should say. Plague Champion goes down. You have stick bombs for the Kommando. Bad news for Heretics trying to close the distance. Those guys having to retreat. Can they get onto the power here? Double shooters fully upgraded can bash power pretty well. Is this the... I hope I can res, says Rostam. Looks like Rostam's going to try and get over here with the Sorcerer. No vestments, so they're going to have to run. There's some Corn Worship, +2 speed for all of Gaius Baltar's units. Are they going for Python first, maybe? 448 to 422. Alright, it was Python that I was asking, dumbass. Stick bombs. Looks like they largely missed. Here come the Doom Bolts out of nowhere. The suppression forced the retreat there. Otherwise, they could have backed off and stayed in play. Is that a... Oh, that's the boss pole. I thought maybe there was a WAAAGH banner up somewhere. And we've got a Bang Bang Hammer for the Warboss. An AoE damage bonus for nearby allies on hits. Pretty damn good. More Doom Bolts. A decent hit there. It is mitigated by cover. So if you see a Sorcerer hanging around with full energy, just try and get yourselves into cover. Mitigate those Doom Bolts, especially early engagements. Which can be tough for Heretics. Especially Heretics that want to fight. Storm Boys here for YZ. Onto the power alongside Burner Sluggers and of course Shooters and that Mech. And they're going to get a full power bash, I think. Meanwhile, west side kicking off. Those Havocs moving up a little bit too far. There is a little bit of a chain suppression here, but they've jumped onto the back Havocs. Heretics weren't quite close enough to get the instant counter initiation. Stick bombs almost wiping out these Havocs. They're very low here. CSM lucky that the Heretics were around to make those Storm Boys retreat, or they would have been done for. Warboss getting some good work done here. And then dies immediately, of course he does. The Curse of Indrid strikes. Light grenades on retreating Shooter Boys is pretty good. You get the initial, like, green explosion of crap that does damage, and then you get that lingering damage over time, which will spread to their allied units. Won't spread to enemies, though. They need to be in that initial explosion. Weird Boy on the way for up high. We've got Plague Marines for Gaius Baltar and Blood Crusher for Uncle Rostam. 2 Death Dreads already up. One of them with Burners and Bits coming to the west side from Noisy. Got some Mark of Zinch Chaos Space Marines, looks like, from Python. They're down to those 2 units. Central contested power is turning blue for Chaos. WAAAGH banner up on the east side. Sluggers have their Nob Leader. That fella's got a power melee chopper. Last Master on the way for these guys. Was this the best time to do this? Raptors have their aspiring champion as well. It's got that heavy melee Demon Maul. They're going after the Death Dread, which is a little bit odd. They're getting suppressed by aiming. What's that? Now they jump over everything, trying to get to the shooter boys, which is quite smart actually. There's a lot of electric armor. That's really messing up the Plague Champion. Holy crap. Down they goes. Chaos Lord is still down there too. It's a good push from YZ. Plague Marines are putting pressure onto that Death Dread though. Some good hits from their missile launcher. It does snare large targets, as you see. Noise Marines getting jumped and maybe a little bit lucky to get away there. Felt like the Stormboy Nob Leader seemed a little bit lost for a second, wasn't attacking stuff. But now they're attacking these Chaos Space Marines. It's a really, really bad 45 seconds or so for Gaius. Baltar lost a bunch of models, including a Plague Marine there and another Plague Marine. You see that explosion on death, knocking back and damaging those Orks. Meanwhile, west side pushing all the way through, in fact in the middle towards the VP. This Death Dread pushed up really far from Noisy. Now it's turned around, found some CSM to try and chop up. Got Plague Marines up here for Python. A solid tier 2 choice against Orks, I think. Blood Crusher on the field. Counts as a demon, has vehicle armor, very quick, but only 600 hit points, so any hard anti-vehicle weapons can, like this for example, can put it in the ground quite quickly, or rather send it back to the warp. It's going to go back. There it goes. Didn't last very long. Tank busters are very much a hard anti-vehicle unit. We've got some bloodletters appearing from this circle of summoning of Rostam. The Blood Crusher is still in the unit roster here. It died so fast that the game doesn't even know that it's gone. Weird Boy for up high is right in there with the warpath. That's why everything's moving so quickly. Kind of terrifying. They're just getting away from the bloodletters here, waiting for them to disappear. Must have run out of energy. There we go. This guy needs repairs. Let's get in some from the sluggers. Are there more sluggers here? They are. They could help repair. Mekboy is also a repairing hero. The Kommando gets all sneaky with the Mega Boom kit and booby traps now. Stun bomb. Decent hit into a Foot of Gork and a shotgun blast. High explosive shells. Hell of a combo there. Seemed like it kind of hit them out of the Foot of Gork a bit though. Switching back to stick bombs now. Noisy's having fun with this Kommando. Steel repairs on the Death Dread. Meanwhile, east side, what's going on? Oh, better watch this engagement first. Warpath sends them flying in there. Do they get a damage buff as well? Yeah, 20% damage resistance. Okay. I think it used to be that there was a melee damage buff with it, but they changed it because it was a bit crazy with knobs. Stormboy is tearing through. Blastmaster Noise Marines on the east side, and those CSM are surely done for. Indeed they are. Overcommitting a little bit there, Gaius Baltar perhaps. I didn't see what led up to it though. Raptor's now being chased around by a Death Dread. Not a fight they want to take. Look at that special attack. Look at the range it has. And that knockback strength too. At the staggered jump, gets them away. Are they going to try and decap? Looks like they are. And the Death Dread cannot be bothered to chase them. Chaos Lord is just going to stick around as long as he can. Maybe hit a kill the weak. Nope, looks like it's on cooldown perhaps. Runs away. West side meanwhile. A decent black grenade throw there. Pretty good black grenade throw looks like. Spread to the shooter boys and the tank busters. Doom bolts flying in. Haven't seen a Dark Flames yet, I don't think. Although Rostam is very low on their red, so maybe they did use one, or maybe they used a warp or something that I didn't see. 320 to 392 on the VP's Orks, starting to hit their tier 3s. They've always had this really smooth transition from tier 2 to tier 3, I think the Orks. A couple of units up and they're there in no time. Chaos Space Marines generally a little bit slower, although this tower has been bashed, I think, 2 times at least fully. And I don't think they've bashed. I mean, there's some bashing that's gone on here. Some bashing over here. Not sure if they've got any full bashes or not. Guys, Baltar goes tier 3. Has a bunch of red. Looks like YZ and Noisy are both going to have plenty of resources once they get to tier 3 as well. And up high has just hit it too. But a Nurgle Shrine that will, there we go, if you worship it, it will reinforce allies. Otherwise, it'll just heal allies and suppress enemies. If you worship it, you get that reinforcement and you get more healing. Or healing more often, I should say. There's a Chains of Torment. Followed up by Doom Bolts. have a lot of boom bolts. This is an auto-cannon Havoc squad, the Mark of Khorne. Big attack here from the Orks though. Can they get that shrine down here? Light grenade throw. Oh, I wasn't quite close enough to hit those sluggers though. Warboss is having a grand old time. What was that? Was that something being warped out? I think maybe it was. The CSM perhaps? Looks like it. 320 to 349. The Plague Champion now has the Armor of Pestilence. And he's getting heals from the shrine. Blastmaster Noise Marines could get a good hit on these shooter boys here. Boom. It was a good hit. Here comes a Death Dread. Just to burn down the shrine. Down it goes. Nothing to worship now, fellas, other than Nurgle himself. Plague Champion did a really good job holding the line there. They didn't get the VP look. Well done, Python. Good judgment on their Plague Champion there. Watch them instantly die now that I've said that. Light grenade for the Weird Boy, and they're going to take it out. Well done. Got a zombie Weird Boy. That's amazing. Well, I want to see it use the warp vomit or something. Gets knocked over by the other Weird Boy being destroyed. Kommando gets level 6. Mekboy, after the revive, runs away. The Plague Marines capturing the central power. Bit of a lull in the action as the Orks hit their tier 3, started to save up and get their tier 3 units out. This would have been a great time actually for them to try and kick on and bash the power at the start of tier 3, of the start of the Orks tier 3 anyway. But couldn't quite get out there. Didn't want to overcommit and overextend. Understandable. Level 3 Sorcerer here. What do we got? Plague Champions level 5. Level 3 Chaos Law with the Armor of the Inferno. Level 4 Warboss. I imagine we'll see the Power Claw at some point. A level 6 Kommando. Switching to Stick Bombs here. Also has the Knife, remember. And a level 6 Mech. Custom Force Field is in. Blastmaster getting a good shot on the Death Dread. I don't think the Plague Marine shot it for some reason. I guess they were shooting something else. There's a Raptor jump, but that's not a good unit to jump into. Those are knobs. Tier 3 Orc infantry that can tear apart anything in the game. Become incredibly powerful with all of their upgrades and when they start leveling and stuff. Getting their huge jammers, they already have Meaner and Greener and their Knob Leader. The Knob Leader alone has over 1,000 hit points. Those guys are going to be a big problem. Plague Champion can deal with Knobs quite well with his Unholy Stench and his Bile Spewer, but we don't see them at the moment. We see Plague Sword and Armor of Pestilence. Uh-oh, got caught by the Death Dread, tossed aside. This is a scary bunch of stuff, isn't it? Double Sluggers in there, Knobs and Storm Boys. Talk about a melee force. Maybe get some Chosen Plague Marines up. We have tanks. Chaos Predator for Python. Chaos Predator on the way for Gaius. Baltar. Looks like the Orks are going to retake this west side. YZ is floating resources, maybe looking for the battle wagon over there on the east side to just barrel its way through them in, I guess. Do we have a Mark of Khorne on the way here? Just more damage for all the guns, and Mark of Nurgle for Pythons. With that damage over time, Nurgle autocannon shell. Damage over time on the bolters too. Lower speed, but way more durability, up to 1225 hit points with health, regen, melee resist. It's a tough old tank. I think the Mark of Khorne tank's pretty damn good against an Orc blob of infantry though. Storm Boys jumping in. A little bit of a staggered jump so they couldn't get onto the Havocs. But Chains of Torment. Could have set up a really nice light grenade there, but Python... Oh, Python's down. That's right. See what the tanks can do. We do have tank busters in play still. From up high. Pain Boy on the field for Noisy. Most likely to get the Cyborg implant stuff. And do some surgery. I can't remember what they call that upgrade. Most likely it'll be used on the Knob Squad. To give them... Usually they go for plus 1 speed, I would think. But you can also get 10% damage or 10% health, I believe. Might have been changed over the years though. Painboy's in there. Of course, also has the stronger gitz source, which is an amazing heal over time. Popping their frenzy there. That was a kill of the week. Chaos Lord's having a go. He's only got his combi flamer though, which I don't... Does it improve his melee weapon? Don't think it does. It doesn't say so there. It's a power weapon at least, going after the Plague Marines now. Taking big shots from the Predator tank though. Did some good damage, although couldn't take a model off him. Those autocannon shots being spread quite evenly across the models there. Havoc's coming back out with the Mark of Khorne. Plague Marines going for the VP. There is an improvised explosive, or a booby trap, as the Kommando calls them. Hasn't gone off though. Those heretics can spot it. So can those ones. Meanwhile in the mid, big Blastmaster shot from the Noise Marines there. They could set up a decent gun line with the Blastmasters and the tanks in the mid. They've got 2 Blastmasters, 2 tanks, 1 Mark of Khorne, 1 Mark of Nurgle, another Chaos Predator on the way for Rostam. Orc players need to start thinking about ranged anti-vehicle here. I mean, a Nob squad could tear apart a tank, but can it get to the tank is the problem. They do have Beamy Death Gun looters from YZ. We've got looters on the way for Noisy, most likely for another Beamy Death Gun. Western contested VP is uncapped. Storm Boys jumping out of nowhere. What are they doing? Chasing those fellas, I guess. Heretics are going for the VP now. There's no Orks over here. Orks are all mid at the moment. Sluggers are repairing the Death Dread. Both of the Death Dreads are still around, which is amazing. Plague Marine's getting a shot. Blastmaster getting a shot, and another. And here's the tank to try and finish it off. Doesn't want to overcommit though. Has no idea what's back here. And in fact, took a few Beamy Death Gun shots. Look how much damage that did. It can be hard to spot those shots too in the middle of a big old fight. 262 to 253 on the VPs. One to that. Very, very close. Raptor's still alive for Gaius Baltar. Got some flash kits now. Blasters. When Orks hit the tier 3 and they start getting the knobs and the flash kits, that's when opponents can start to capitulate, but the Blastmaster and the tanks are doing really well for the Chaos team in the mid here, giving them some room to breathe, and that's a good nuke from Python. The green Nurgly Imperial Abyss there. I think Nurglite is the correct term, someone once said. Let's go with Nurglite. Plague Marines trying to get the cap, but that's a whole bunch of melee stuff. 2 Nob squads and a Painboy to back them up. Subjugated Storm Boys could subjugate the Nobs, I suppose. Rostam has that tome of subjugation. Markov Zeep CSM will do a lot of damage to Nob squad with those Inferno bolts, but for how long before they get smacked in the face repeatedly and their jaw just comes off? Being chased by Storm Boys now, more than a match in melee for those Chaos Space Marines. Look at the damage they're doing. Level 4 Storm Boys there. Python trying to fight the VP. Goes down. What else is in there? Oh, some bloodletters in there. Oh, from Gaius Baltar. Not sure what was sacrificed. Maybe some heretics or something. 262 to 250. What is this? Oh, Commandos. And then an Imperial Abyss from Gaius Baltar, the red cornate Imperial Abyss there. Are they going to wipe those looters? No, I think the looters are going to get away. Commandos are being dragged in. No need to get away from the Abyss fellas. Or run into it. Noisy, I don't think, paying super attention over there. What were they looking at? Oh, maybe the Kommando was sneaking around doing stuff. The Marines strangely split up. The Chaos Lord gets a revive there up to level 7. You might see him get his claws, or the Blood Maul, I suppose. The Blood Maul might be really good actually with the massive blobs of melee that we're seeing. Already has the Chains of Torment, does Rostam, and the Tome. So they've played it right against this so far with their hero war gear. See if they can get it going. Just so the Painboy heal on the knobs. And they've got to quickly get onto the Blastmasters with the Storm Boys if they can. Subjugated Nob Squad here. So subjugated units are immune to damage and they get a damage bonus. Can they take down the Pain Boy? Not quite. Raptors getting stunned. And there's that Kommando level 8. 262 to 216. Lots of Daka from some flash gitz here. Great Unclean One on the way for Python. 262 to 216. Light grenades. Level 3 knobs. Kind of shrugging it off though and running away. Didn't even drop a model there, those fellas. So decent Doom Bolts. Can anyone cap this VP though? Here come the Storm Boys again. Plague Marines trying to cap that wreck point. Couldn't quite manage it. We do have Grenade Launcher Heretic, so they can disrupt. And this is a Mark of Nurgle tank from Uncle Rostam. Another tank on the way by Gaius, Baltar, and the Great Unclean One in your frame on the right there. Heading towards the VP. Got a Chains of Torment. Might see a cloud of flies immediately here. Or a vomit. There's the vomit. Came a little bit late. And that one, oh, maybe that was the... He does have a vomit, that's just a special attack. I'm not sure which one was the ability and which one was the special attack there. I think the first one was the ability because I saw his energy go down, I believe. Mekboy level 8, being messed up by that Great Unclean One. This guy passively damaging nearby enemies. Have some nasty abilities and big melee damage. A champion level 6. Blastmaster's really doing work. Are there still 2 of them in fact? No, there's only 1 left. And maybe that one's done for. Storm Boys jumping in. Heretics are there. A tank is there too, and so is the Great Unclean One. Are they going to get away here? Level 4 Storm Boys. If the Great Unclean One reacted quicker, there's the foul snare. It does finish them off. That was a good kill. There's some Nurgle worship now to help the Great Unclean One out. Might need to get back to base though, because there's a lot of health to recover. Tons of Daka here. Looks like the Raptors have had their last jump of 2020 there. Down they go. West side is blue. Rostam fighting hard over it. Got some CSM back there, level 3. Can do some really good damage. I don't think they trade super well with Blaster Flash Gitz though, just because it's so much upfront damage. They might be able to at high levels. Doing well here with some help. I see a Orks. Did it take out? Yeah, looks like the Orks took out the Blastmaster Noise Marines that were there. They are done for. Lots of Daka for the Plague Marines. Orks are retaking the west side. Tons of resources floated by YZ. Here's another Knob Squad on the way. Here's another Great Unclean One on the way. The original fella is healing back at base with some Nurgle worship, so it shouldn't be too long. West side turns red. There's the 2-1. Nobody able to really break through the mid. Storm Boys level 4 from up high. And they get disrupted by the grenade launchers there. Look at that. Oh, Beamy's getting shots. More Beamy. This is the Mekboy's own one. And you can teleport around, remember. Another one there too. Tons of them are about. That's 4 looters with Beamies and the Mekboy himself with a Beamy. And of course the Kommando can get a pretty damn good rocket launcher in tier 3. He's level 9, that fella. Still has that special shooter. Warboss is level 8 with the Power Claw and Heavy Armor. Up over 2,000 hit points now. Can get up to 2,300-ish level 10 with that Heavy Armor. Sorcerer's level 6. Plague Fist, Plague Champion, really good at capping. You might see the Mucus Discharge for the self-heal too. This is the new Knob Squad from YZ. No upgrades on those fellas. Kommando gets foul snared. Stuns you. I don't know why it stuns you and knocks you over like that. Surely being flung 50 meters is enough to stop you doing stuff. Subjugated Sluggers. Big fight here brewing. They're going for the cap. It's Plague Marines on it. Some Nurgle worship. Those tanks might want to move up a little bit to support 2 Great Unclean Ones. There's a cloud of flies at the bottom of the screen from that Great Unclean One. Plague Champion chucks out his light grenade, but it was actually dodged because of the cloud of flies that went off. But we've got a bunch of infected orcs here. Can that great unclean one get away? Maybe. Got 2 tanks backing it up, but I think the Nob Squad are going to get it here. Yep, down goes the great unclean one. Tanks are getting messed up, that's why they didn't move forward, I guess. Both of them Mark of Nurgle. Looks like maybe they're going to survive. We have 2 Mark of Khorne tanks from Gaius Baltar, so a decent mix there in the mid in terms of tanks. Look at this Plague Champion now. Level 6, charging through the mid. Might be able to get a decap. A bunch of booby traps over here though. Is there no limit to the amount you can have on the field? There might not be. Uh-oh. Right in me crosshairs. Remember when I said about that rocket launcher? Well, there it is. Pretty damn good. Now a level 10 Kommando too. That rocket launcher is going to do tons of damage. They do have the Sparring Champion Heretics on to spot him, so he might not be able to get onto rear armor. Red Clean One pushing through onto the Flash Gitz. And Kaos retain the west side. Chaos Lord going for a revive on the Sorcerer. Is that going to level him to 10? Oh, is he going to do it? There we go. It might not. This bar. Yeah, this bar is not a linear amount of XP for each level, I don't think. Maybe it is. But that wasn't quite enough, either way. 201 to 110. Storm Boys are going to chop down the Sorcerer. Down he goes, but should get revived again, I think, which will level the Chaos Lord to 10 if he does it. Nob's trying to push through onto the tanks, but the tanks are being a massive nuisance at the moment. They're holding the line really well. Down goes one. Kommando squad with a rocket launcher on a Nob leader. That is a wasted nuke, I think. It did kill the Kommando squad. The Kommando Nob gets away though. Aura of Decay from the Plague Champion now has the Icon of Nurgle in. Passively damages nearby enemies. 10 piercing damage every 2.5 seconds. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. Also helps the Plague Champion level like crazy because he's doing little bits of damage to everything. 201 to 95. Level 3 and level 1 Predators. They could do with some repairs. Gaius Baltar is floating. Surely you get Lightning Claw Terminators right now, Gaius Baltar. Surely. I mean, maybe they're afraid of the Flash Gitz and stuff. But they would do a great job against the Nobs. 201 to 95. Some disruption. As good as Nobs are, you can still knock them over. Unless a Mekboy has the super tough beam, of course. Needs to start backing away that tank. Yep, looks like the Orks are right back onto that VP then. 201 to 95. It's always another Nob squad, eh? Level 2 and level 1. And these guys are level 4. These fellas. 5,523 hit points. Bloody hell. Blastmaster might just die immediately here. Maybe gets away. 2 models on the 66 hit points. He gets away. Are they going to go straight for the VP? No, they've stopped for now. I think they should push this advantage here. You got 2 Nob squads and a Paintboy and a bunch of Flash Gitz. Blastmaster doing its job well. 185 to 95, 2 to 1 for the Orks. Got a 90 or so VPs to make up though. What is this down? Chaos Lord's down. Looks like the Plague Champion got the revive this time. Maybe some Chosen Plague Marines could do pretty well here. Just to hold up the Nobs. Maybe get a zombie Nob or 2 too. Great unclean one on the way for Gaius Baltar. That's what they were saving up for. Uncle Rostam is floating resources like crazy now. Maybe they're waiting for the red to get Terminators up. Beamies can't do much against the infantry there. But they're bad news for the Great Unclean One, bad news for that tank. Python looking at the VP and backing away. Warboss menacingly just staring at anything that gets close. 154 to 95. Stormboy's looking for an angle. They found an angle. They found the heretics there. Get a foul snare for their trouble. There's a Rocks. They're trying to take out the Blastmaster. And they got it, I think. I think that guy just got deleted, yeah. Big old fight here. Rocks going off in the background. Plague Marines be exploding. Got the decap. I don't think they're going to make it out. No, they didn't. The Nob's got a Pain Boy gitz source heal there too. This Great Unclean One might be overextended. It could get teleported out though by Rostam. That is Rostam's Great Unclean One, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And the Sorcerer is in retreat, so it's creating some space for the teleport. Yep, there's the walk. Walked out to the Sorcerer's location, who's in retreat. 115 to 95. Two of the Chaos heroes down on this west side, and this is not the time to be down. Can the Sorcerer get to them? I don't know if he can. Bloodletter's on the way for Python. So many beamies now. The tanks can't really afford to get any closer. They can be used defensively pretty well, like this. But pushing with them just gets about 6 beamies shooting at them. Warboss, level 9. Had enough of these tanks. Had enough of these heretics. Heretics have been used really well, I think, so far. By all the players. Some of that grenade launcher stuff, and a lot of good worship. Guys, Baltar, I've got some late heretics out here to help with repairs. That must be a level 3 tank here. It's going to take ages to repair it. More Nobs on the way up high. Where are the Terminators? What is Uncle Rostam floating all these resources for? They still don't have the red. It's 350 red to get Terminators. But maybe they should spend some, eh? Subjugated some Storm Boys. Could be a big misplay here from Rostam to not be spending those resources. Let's get another Blastmaster up or something for now. While you wait for the red. There's a Noble Nuke from Python. Nobleite, I should say. Don't know if this Great Unclean One's going to get away. I'm not sure if the warp is going to be off cooldown. More looters coming in. Down it goes. A Cornate Nuke there from Gaius Baltar. That's a pretty damn good one. Lots of War Banners, of course, buffing up the looters and the flash kits. Down go 2 of them. And looks like a tank to take out the other. More looters on the way for Noisy. Down goes that tank. That was Rostam's. 64 to 95. The Orks have the VP lead. Finally, some Terminators from Rostam here. Getting a tank as well. Look at the resources they have. Crazy amount. Could get another tank immediately. Big mistake, I think, to wait that long to start getting stuff. And then not getting lightning claws. They get an autocannon. That's not good. Nobs destroyed them. Flash kits destroyed them with the autocannon. Get the claws up. Make these guys think twice about just running in like this. But the autocannon is up. 64 to 82. Can they cap here? Maybe they can revive a bit. So the beamies aren't guaranteed to hit Terminators these days since they were changed to medium size. So they might be able to do some work. Great Unclean One though is going to take tons of shots. Bit of damage and a Nob squad on it too. 64 to 82. Nobody even trying to crack through the mid. Storm Boys with a jump. More heretics there. Blastmaster shot coming in. The Great Unclean One does go down. They're all gone now. All of the Great Unclean Ones are gone. There's a Rocks on the VP. Storm Boys do not get away from it. Heretics did. Well, one of them did, at least. Down goes a Shrine. That was a Gaius Baltar Corn Shrine, I believe. Creating some bloodletters there. A level 10 Plague Champion with the Icon of Noble hitting the Pestilence Strike to help the cat. Kommando's trying to shoot him, but not really working out. Sorcerer just sliding home over there. Alrighty then. Got the cat, did Python. Here's some... Oh, it's not more Terminators, it's just those fellas teleporting back. Really don't think they should have got the autocannon. If they had claws here, could have messed up those Nobs. Could mess up the Warboss as well. 2, 3, 2, 7 hit points at level 10. They have persuaded the Warboss to leave. 3 Predators are up still. Level 2 and 2 level 1s. 1 Corn, 2 Nurgle. That's the Mekboy capping, also level 10 of course. Going for the super tough beam now. Gets the cap. Can cast the super tough beam on Orks to make on knobs, I should say, to make them even more terrifying. They've got that tank. They have. Kommando gets the last hit there. A very brave sorcerer trying to fight some knobs. Level 3 knobs at that. Frenzy is popped in amongst the Terminators. I mean, they do have power fists, but they would still get destroyed by knobs 1v1. Especially fully upgraded knobs like that. The WAAAGH banners are back, buffing all this stuff with extra damage and speed. And there's some surgery being done on those knobs there. Look at that. +1 speed, I think. You see them popping along a little bit faster. Subjugated knobs versus non-subjugated knobs over there. 30 to 66. Here comes the Plague Champion to try to cap, and we got some Chosen Plague Marines up. These guys changed in 295. They now emit their own little mini Icon of Nurgles kind of thing for passive damage over time around them, which is pretty fun. Chop, chop, chop. They have power melee weapons that do damage over time. Level 4 knobs. There's that Pain Boy heal. And they're going for the cap. 23 to 66. Bloodletters all of a sudden. From Gaius, Uncle Rostam. That's the Circle of Summoning. That was a stun bomb. Kommando is trying to cap there. Couldn't quite manage it. Got destroyed. You put all these zombie orcs now from the Nurgles rot of the Chosen Plague Marines. These guys getting very low, but they had a big impact over there, I think. What is capping now? I don't even know. Plague Champion is fighting at the moment. The Kommando knob, actually. Now it's the Pain Boy capping? Yeah, it is. Level 2 Pain Boy trying to cap. Plague Champion smacks him off it. Resets the cap, now goes for their own cap. I assume they've used the Pestilent Strike already. Or they'd be using it now. 23 to 66. Bloodletters from Python being chucked into the Orky backlines. Gets the cap, does the Plague Champion. Look at that, there's a clutch cap. 23 to 65. Marco Zinc CSM trying to pour some damage onto the knobs. Pop the Frenzy though. And this is where Lightning Claw Terminators. Imagine Lightning Claw Terminators on that VP there. They would have been mopping things up. Another tank on the way for Gaius Baltar here. Why not get Terminators of your own? Terminators can cap too. They had some early successes with those tanks. And they forgot about how great Lightning Claw Terminators are. 1-to-1 cap here. What is this? Bloodletters on the VP. Gonna get torn up though by a knob squad. Down they go. Back to the warp with you. West side is an absolute disaster zone. That tank didn't last long. I mean, look at the amount of beamies. Why are you still getting tanks, fellas? Gaius Baltar did get another tank, so did Rostam. A Cornate Nuke. Like the 3rd or 4th one we've seen, I think. Did a lot of good damage there. Blast Master getting shots in. Touch of Nurgle. Heretics too. Warboss makes them explode. As you do. Chosen Plague Marines having to back off here. 23 to 45. Absolute chaos, as they say. Chaos Sorcerer almost level 9. Some heretics just died there. Those are Gaius Baltars. Those Blast Masters are getting blasted by the blasters of those flash gitz. Knob Squad and a Warboss breaking through. Going after this tank. Still only level 1, but it is a Nurgle tank, so it's going to take a beating. Terminators, are you going to do something? There you go, shoot someone. Uh-oh, Knob Squad have turned on him. Lose a model, maybe. Sorcerer teleporting up with the vestments of the warp. Down to 8 VPs. This could be it. Yeah, they're on their natural now. Look at this. Well played, Noisy. Gets through with a Kommando squad. And a double cap at the end is enough for the Orks. Hell of a game. Look at these heroes. Level 10 Chaos Lord for Gaius Baltar. Level 10 Plague Champion for Python. Level 8 Sorcerer for Rostam. Level 10 Warboss for Up High. Level 10 Kommando for Noisy. Felt like the Kommando was level 10 for like 15 minutes or something. And a level 10 mech for YZ. What a way to end the faction wars for 2020. Big thanks to these guys who sent this in of their own volition. Massive thanks to all the players who have taken part this year. Of course to Impregnable, who hosted and organised the vast majority of them with their events. It's been awesome. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.